Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I don't know if this happened to you, maybe when you were much younger, maybe when you were a teenager, maybe never, maybe as a small child, but it happened to me a long time ago. And sometimes, we make mistakes even as an adults. And we don't have the evidence, but we want to hurt someone's feelings for whatever reason. So then we sometimes say something baseless without any evidence, but we just say something just to hurt the other person. But we don't provide evidence, we just say it. The evidence is contrary to, shows the opposite of whatever you claim, but you say it, and you want to hurt the person's feelings. It happened to me when I was the initiator. So I made this mistake, and I don't know, probably I will make it in the future. Anger sometimes, darkens our reason. I hope it never happened to you. So, with this being said, we have here people that are in a position of power where how should I put it, anger should not cloud or darken their reason, and they should be very, very self-contained, especially as foreign ministers where you deal with other people and you negotiate, you show diplomacy. That's your job. You have to be the best of the best. Not a regular person like me, just sometimes you get angry or something like that and you hurt some people's feelings without justification, just because you just want to do it and you're a dumbass at that point. So what happened here? We have Putin coming out and said, Russia is under sanctions, but you know what? Our economy, purchasing power, we surpassed Germany. Say what? You might say. Well, that's exactly what he says. So Putin says Russia surpassed Germany in purchasing power and blah, blah, blah. Now, Germany, if you remember, is the most industrialized country in the European Union and is the best. Germany is the fifth economy in the world. So Russia, according to Putin, said Russia surpassed Germany. Now, this is according to Sputnik. I will show you the article, and that's what Putin claimed at BRICS summit. Then you have Ukrainska Pravda, I think it is, so a Ukrainian media outlet, is going to take what Putin said and is going to talk about it, but they're not going to deny it. Obviously, if that weren't true, Ukrainska Pravda would have an op-ed or something, would have an expert that's going to say, that's not true, Mr. Putin, dictator Putin, and they will provide you the evidence. Well, they don't do that. The Ukrainians hold off. They say, well, we're not going to hurt anybody's feelings. We're not going to be like, okay. But we have another guy who is the foreign minister, let's put it this way, of the European Union. So he's in charge of, like Lavrov, like Blinken, like infantile Annalena Baerbock of Germany, like great Dr. Jaishankar of India, like Peter Giarto of Hungary. So these kind of people that meet face to face and they have a dialogue and they negotiate and they are diplomats, right? That's their job. They should be the best of the best. So Borrell makes a statement, as I said at the beginning of this video, just to say something to hurt with no evidence. And I'm going to show you that third article. So I'm going to start with Russia's article from Sputnik, and this is it. So Sputnik, Russia, Putin, Russia among world's top 5 economies, overtakes Germany. Remember, Russia is supposed to be under a tremendous number of sanctions, about 11 rounds of sanctions, totaling about what? 12,000 sanctions or so? I think that's what it was. So, despite pessimistic forecasts, Russia is among the 5 largest economies in the world and has overtaken the Federal Republic of Germany, Russian President Vladimir Putin said at the Council of Strategic Development and Nations Projects. So it was not at BRICS, my bad. According to the World Bank, the Russian Federation has moved ahead of the Federal Republic of Germany. So that's according to World Bank. So that's why the Ukrainians could not say anything in terms of purchasing power parity. In terms of the size of the economy, Putin added. The president highlighted that this is one of the most important indicators. The president stressed that the growth rates are steady, including in industry, while the current budget situation is stable and risk-free. So the current, I'm not going to say, just going to give you here. In the second quarter, the federal budget deficit decreased almost 8 times compared to the first quarter and totaled 264 billion rubles. In July, the budget balance was 458 billion rubles, better than a year ago, Putin clarified. So, it says that for July, September, I'm not going to go into these things here. I'm just, the exports more than tripled from 12% to 42%. So, how should I put it? It says on August 4, I covered that, Sputnik calculated using data from the World Bank that Russia's GDP by purchasing power parity, PPP, in 2022 for the first time ever exceeded $5 trillion, allowing the country to remain the world's 5th largest economy. Now, this is 5th largest economy. And we have Ukrainska Pravda. And they say Putin claims Russia outpaces Germany and is now one of the world's 5 largest economies. Tuesday, August 22nd. And they say what he said, but he doesn't say. Remember, these are the Ukrainians who say, no, that's not true. No, you're not true. They don't say anything in this. It's just they say what Putin said. Background, last week, pop, and that's it. They don't say anything else. This is a different thing. So the Ukrainians report exactly what this bad guy reported without saying that's not true, my man. And we have this guy right here, who is Josep Borrell, EU Foreign Affairs representative, rips Russia, calls it, and I'm quoting, a gas station with a bomb and an economic dwarf. Now, if this guy's from the New Voice of Ukraine, right? From the 20th. If these guys calls Russia an economic dwarf and Russia outpaces Germany, right? Overtakes Germany, how would this idiot call Germany then? The most industrialized country in Europe and the 5th economy. So anyway, this is Russia is an economic dwarf, I'm quoting, a gas station whose owner has a nuclear bomb. He told Spain El País on August 19th. So you tell me. Now, I understand that I'm just a weasel here, but Borrell is the foreign minister, minister of affairs for the European Union. Now, doesn't he know that? This is news to him? What is he talking about? I think he just wanted to say something in frustration and hurt Russians' feelings by saying something that it's not true. Because if Russian economy is dwarf, and always Germany's mini dwarf, and now to be even with evidence hurt his feelings, how big is Spain's economy? Because I checked on Mr. Josep Borrell, he's from Spain. I have nothing against Spain, but how if Russia is the dwarf, Germany is a mini dwarf, what is Spain? A non-dwarf? What is it? A black hole? Sucking everything in? All right, my friends. I just wanted to show you how we're dealing with this kind of people. I'm talking about Borrell. I made 2 videos today, one I think one earlier today and one in the afternoon, about that infantile Annalena Baerbock, the foreign minister of used to be great country of Germany. She's an infantile. This guy, I made a lot of them with, what's his name, from United States of America, Blinken, that blinks all the time. Okay, so Blinken. These guys are just mediocre at best, and they are in charge of countries, big country and big interests. She, Baerbock of Germany, this semi-tard European Union, Blinken average, mediocre, not average. For me, mediocrity is, I know, but it gives a bad connotation than average, mediocre for me. So it's a mediocrity. And these guys are in charge of these great entities. And we have Jai Shankar, we have Peter Giarto, we have, what's his name, Wang Wei of China, we have Lavrov. How can you put these guys at the same table with the three I mentioned? What is this, a ping pong game? All right, my friends. So Russia, under the sanctions, the mighty sanction, is doing better than Germany, who imposed the sanctions. So what should Germany do? I think halt, reverse. But hey, since Germany is not an independent sovereign country, and it has its own masters across the Atlantic, which is Zimbabwe, all right, then it can do that. And the Germans will keep paying their taxes and shut up and consume. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.